What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play 999 Blind. In the last episode, a lot went down. We made our way to the chapel, which I thought it was called a chapel, and upon loading my save file, I realized that it is indeed called the chapel, because it confirms the location from which you're loading a file, and a lot of stuff went down, right? We decided we're going to have to leave people behind, and all of a sudden, Santa drew a gun, and is holding Murasaki, June, hostage. I don't know why the Japanese name came to me first, but... yeah, so we got quite the predicament going on. And so Ace and Lotus are being coerced into going along with June and Santa through the door, leaving Junpei, Seven, and Clover behind. Which is really unfortunate, to say the least. His motives are rather nebulous at the moment. I don't quite understand them. And I think, actually, I was just watching The Promised Neverland. I just finished that series. If you like this story right now, if you like really intense, page turners with regards to intellectual battles and trying to figure out mystery and darker themes, absolutely recommend it. I think something I have difficulty with in this game in general is trusting that when I don't understand something, that it's going to be a very logically sound, basically like outwitting of the viewer, right? So when I'm surprised by somebody like Santa doing something like holding a gun to June's head, I'm really like, what could possibly be going through his head? And I don't have as much faith that it's going to be rooted in a very logical, highly intelligent reason that just goes beyond what I could have even comprehended, because Santa's maybe thinking that far ahead or something. Also, Mike, let's turn you around a little bit, so hopefully audio is good, but okay. Regardless, story's getting really cool. I definitely want to see where things go from here, and I'm going to be optimistic and assume that there is some better rationale behind all of this, and hopefully our protagonist is going to find a way out of this predicament. No way. Junpei-kun, what are you saying? The face he's making. If you stay here, you're going to be stuck, Junpei-kun. And so will Clover and Seven. I know. But you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven? Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but... Don't worry about me either. This is where we left off. There's still something I have to take care of, right? No, you can't. Ace, Lotus, don't come over. Don't worry about me, please. June was almost crying. I wonder... I mean, to be fair, Santa has at most 6 shots, after firing one, at most 5 shots. Given there are more than 5 people, if it were to come to a brawl, Santa couldn't kill everyone. And if he were to start killing people, he would trap himself. So it's not like he could just kill whoever came at him, wildly. I don't think this is really the situation, nor did they have the time to effectively think through all of that, though. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. He gently placed a hand on each of their shoulders. Please. And pushed them toward the door. To be fair as well, on Ace and Lotus's behalf, right? It's not only that they don't want to do what Santa says, it's not that they want to go along with this, and it's not that only that they don't want to leave the other people behind, it's also that they don't want to be trapped in this potentially life-threatening room with somebody who's got a gun, right? Even after they go through the door and appease him this one time, it's not like he's going to be completely, back to safety mode, right? It's like trying to pay off somebody who's blackmailing you. You can only buy temporary silence, never permanent. They almost stumbled, then righted themselves and took another step, and another. They turned around and Junpei nodded. Go. Alright. Fine. Oh man. I think something that could really turn this story around for me is if Junpei and Seven and Clover are able to utilize Alice and what we've learned thus far to make some sort of dramatic escape, right? To meet up with June and to basically give Santa what he deserves, and to really see what the big rationale is behind this whole setup. I feel like there's still a lot of puzzle pieces to be put together, and I am really looking forward to the big picture. And after what seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door 9. Santa smiled. Alright, now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What? Think I'm screwing around here? I don't give a crap about this girl. The Red doesn't need a person, you know. Wow. All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your hands on the scanner. Not gonna say it again. He shoved the revolver harder against June's head, and she winced. Fine. Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Lotus went next. Lotus glared at Santa and slammed her hand onto the scanner panel. The fourth asterisk blinked on. Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. As soon as the door opens, you get in there. Try anything stupid, and you know what happens, right? Darn it. Junpei could almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying at every step along the way to see if there's some way they could, make it out, and I'm not seeing a way around this. Guns are difficult to deal with for that very reason. Well, the doors are open. The door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble, a drum roll to welcome the chosen few. Good. Go! Lotus and Ace walked through the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, then hauled himself and June across the threshold as well.
Jana.
Later. Yikes. After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. The gust of air it created caused the candles on the altar to flicker and die. Now we wait a good, 90 seconds? And wait to see if we hear a kaboom, and then if we're all clear, then we can move on and Junpei can probably rest a little bit more easily. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and Seven had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue veins that crisscrossed them. Seven shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the 2 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It read, engaged. He moved to the smaller door. The red read, vacant. The digital root of the remaining people was 7. 5 plus 4 plus 7. I see where this is going. Is this going to be the dramatic return of Snake? Is this going to be the dramatic return of Snake, guys? There was no possible way for them to open a door with 9 on it. Junpei touched the surface of the door.
Murasaki.
June. He thought about June. About Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she had escaped this horrible boat. That was what Junpei prayed for. Seven came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
で、どうするよ、順平。
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
どうするも何も。
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do? Seven opened his mouth to respond when... A noise echoed through the room. From inside the coffin, someone was pounding on something, vigorously. It wasn't mechanical. It was certainly human. Junpei and Seven looked at one another.
何の音だ?
What the heck is that?
黙って。
Shh, quiet. Clover motioned to Seven to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. The three of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from.
どこだ？どこから聞こえてくる？
Where is it coming from? How did I know? Could it be?
おい、この棺の中から聞こえてくるみたいだぜ。
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
わかってる。
You're
開
right.
けてみよ
Let's open
開
it.
けるってどうやって？
But
そ
how?
の筋肉は見せかけ？
What are those muscles for? For show?
力ずくでこじ開けろってのか？
You're telling me to force it
う。いい
open?
からとにかく試してみよう。
Just shut up and try. Ooh, this music is cool. Junpei and Seven grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find, and pulled with it all their strength. Darn it.
ダメだ。びくともしないぜ。
Man, it won't even budge. Obviously, we gotta figure out something. There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to
や
it.
っぱこいつか。
Not another one.
みたいだな。
Yeah, looks like
暗
it.
証番号を入力しないと開かない。そういうこと？
I wonder, do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open? I think so. What's interesting is, I don't know if whoever's inside there or whatever's inside there hasn't tried communicating beyond just like thudding, right? If the person is thudding, it's probably not random. It's probably in response to hearing us. Or maybe, on the other hand, if it were in response to noise, it would have been a lot earlier, right? So maybe it is somewhat random, and we can assume that there isn't any ability to communicate vocally between inside the coffin and outside. That's probably the more reasonable, at least in-game universe to go with. In fact, it was getting
中
louder.
に誰がいるのかわからないが、とにかく早く出してやらないと。
Whoever, whatever's inside this thing wants out, and
言
now
っても
I know that.
どうすりゃいいんだが。
But how?
暗証番号がわからない限り、どうしようもない。
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do. That said, given there is a passcode, and given the whole setup of 999, the Nonori games, I'm sure there's a path to find that passcode. They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be.
どこかにヒントがあるんじゃないの？
Isn't there a hint somewhere?
探してみよう。
Well, let's look for one. We gonna find anything? Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and Seven investigated the desk, but they turned up
な
nothing.
い。
There's nothing here.
そう簡単にはいかないが。
Not making this easy, are they? The sound still wouldn't stop. I'd imagine if someone were in there, they wouldn't have a lot of time before they ran out of oxygen. It wasn't a noise that belonged in that room. Something to do with the candles, maybe? Maybe those logos on the left and right of the door?
暗証番号はいくつなんだ？
What's the passcode? Is it maybe the number of doors we opened to get to number 9?
どうすればわかる？
What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it
番
out?
号を知るためには一体どうすれば？
I need something. Does it have to do with the pattern on top of the coffin? That could be pretty cool. To be continued? To be continued? What? What? You're kidding me. Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa. What? Now, it is time. Let our game begin. You have reached one ending. What? That's an ending? Huh? Is that basically we got a bad ending because we let Santa win, potentially? You have reached one ending. This game has multiple endings. In order to experience all the endings, you need to play through the game multiple times. Make sure to save your progress now to retain all information you've acquired. What? Memory of Escape has been added to the title screen. Memory of Escape enables you to replay the escape rooms you have completed. What? Are you kidding me right now? To be continued. Followed by some ominous, like, Santa wins deal. Flash all of these different CG things of cool escape stuff. And then all of a sudden, what? Would you like to save the info you obtained during this playthrough? After saving, the game will restart from the beginning. Please select the save slot. What? What? Does this mean we're going to play through the game again? But Junpei's going to have this information and it's somehow going to be different? Or am I just expected to try different combinations of choosing a different door to enter for the puzzle or something like that? And maybe only once I've gone through every single room, I'll have enough information to actually make it out? We clearly were missing information that we needed. Maybe it was information we had to pick up at some other part. I didn't feel like there was an option at any point to go to the library or anything like that to find Alice. Maybe there's got to be more to put together. Oh, come on, 999. This must be how it feels for you guys when I do the whole in the next episode thing. I just want to know the rest of the story. I'm sure Snake is going to come back. Do we always end up at that point? Obviously, don't answer these questions for me, guys. I don't want to be spoiled. But I feel like that's such an abrupt ending. That's hardly an ending. That's hardly an ending. That's so unsatisfying. We'll save. Yeah, I'll save in the next save slot, though. This is what I do because shout out to recording. So when we look at the save files, access the flowchart or return to the title screen to play from the beginning. Wow, we really got a bad end of some sort. Or no. It's just locked for now, so we can't progress there anymore. What? So, I think the idea is I need to go back and explore all the different events. I'm so confused as to how this is going to work, though. Is it that I need to put something together and it's literally impossible to do so without having access to these routes, and only once I've accessed certain parts of the game will the game unlock future events down some of these routes? Because this coffin dealio is locked right now. I need something more for that. The only way I can get to this point or that ending with more information is to take this route on the right and then this route here in the middle. And then continue along the same route I was prior. Is that what I should do? Is it just not showing me any future events that occur down this route? Oh man, now I'm so curious. I'm too curious. So, do we just go back here? The 4 and 5 doors?
だからそれはもう終わっただがそれなり
Wow.
これ以上何を話し合ってんだよ。
I want to look back at my footage and see what Santa even said. What they said about Santa after the to be continued thing, because I don't even remember what it was at this point. I'll probably do that in between episodes, but oh man, I spent like so much of this game. The escape rooms were neat and everything, and the visual novels aspects were cool as well. I think it was really difficult to sometimes buy into the interesting physics of this world, or you know, the mechanics that they're trying to work as an underlying logic. They obviously hinted at a lot of things, and I thought the story was just about to get really good, and I was really starting to get into it, and they take it away. They take it away. All right, so let me check the menu here. So we can obviously go to the flowchart. Let me see if there's anything about controls here. So how can I fast forward? I can hold enter. Okay, skip mode is control. Maybe that's the way to go. The question is... Okay, cool. So this is obviously a lot more convenient. We have to decide going into the 4-door or the 5-door. 8365. What would our digital route be? So that'd be 11, then 1722. It would be 4, right? Yeah. Oh, so they show us the answer we're already good to go with. Okay, so I appreciate that they at least gray out the decisions we've already made. So we'll have to go with door 5 then. Oh man, this is killing me that they just brought everything to an absolute halt and sent me back. Wow, that is rough. All right, well, I'm gonna turn off control or whatever skip mode is, so because we're gonna get new dialogue. Hey, wait! I want to go through door 5 too. What? What are you saying, Junpei-kun? Oh man. I really wanted Snake to show up out of the coffin. Maybe that is the case. Obviously there's more to explore there. Maybe you just get that ending, that to be continued, whenever you run into a point in a flowchart where you didn't accomplish whatever goal you needed to, whatever side something you needed to get before that. I'm trying to figure out like how it works, right? So how does the game unlock the rest of that flowchart per se? That's why I was thinking, oh, there are only 2 segments of the path that still lead to this ending we just got that were unexplored. So maybe once I have explored all of the potential routes to a particular end path, then it unlocks. And you just have to replay segments up until then. Darn. Regardless, if you're going through that door, then I'm going with you. No, you can't. I can't take you with me. Why? Well, you know what's in there, don't you? Are you sure you want to see that? Well... Please, let me go into door 5. Man, now we're right back where we started, you know that? And now I can't look at Santa without seeing that he has some ulterior motive that I have no idea what it is. And do I trust that it's like a rational one? It's got to be beyond trying to survive. But what other motive could he have? Is it maybe that he's like Zero and trying... Maybe he's Zero and... I don't know. Ace and Lotus are also in on it or something like that, and he really wants Clover and Seven and Junpei to be under stress for the sake of the Nonary game experiment that like the one 9 years ago was about? I don't know. I have more faith though that there's some ulterior motive given all the ending CG we saw there. Whew. Man, now we're right back where we started, you know that? That makes a lot more sense to me right now than you think, Seven. Junpei's bracelet is number 5, right? Also, good to see you again, Snake. It's been a minute. If we are going to add Junpei, then we must subtract 5 from the rest of
一二
us.
さん四つ葉のこと頼んだよ
Ace, please take good care of Clover. I guess something... Okay, so I've finally figured out what is causing a little bit of internal distress right now regarding unlocking these endings. Are we back in time as Junpei with our memories from the previous timeline we played? Because if that's the case, that would explain why if we take another route to that same endpoint we just got to, we'll have completed the information we probably need to get further along down there. If we aren't coming back with our memories, we're still not going to have the information, at least in game, from the other routes we've completed. So I don't see how that first route we took was even really relevant if we're able to get further along down that path without it, pretty much, with only the information that we get from this time around. I think that's the biggest thing, is are we Junpei in-game with memories from the previous timeline? Or is the game, at the very least, considering us having done so, such that when we get to that point, we'll be able to recall something from our previous playthrough in addition to what we're going to go through now. Regardless, Ace, please take good care of Clover.
私は別に構わないが
Oh, alright, that's fine.
お兄ちゃん
Don't go away.
僕の言った通りにするんだ
You need to listen to me,
お
Clover.
前は他のみんなと一緒に4の扉へ
Go to door 4 with the others. Oh, what are they gonna pull? Are they gonna pull, all the different timelines or all the different Junpeis in these parallel universes, and they're connected by a morphogenetic field, and under the intense stress of the Nonary game, the different information from all the timelines is able to coalesce into one Junpei that's able to realize what to do going forward? Maybe. I think there's a non-zero chance. Regardless, go to door 4 with the others.
わ
No,
がままを言うんじゃない
don't be so selfish.
そうなの
Why?
大丈夫だ安心しろ
You'll be fine. Just relax.
なんだウイルスのやつ
Huh?
何を伝えたんだ
What did he tell her?
分かったよ
Okay, I understand. Interesting.
最後にもう一度確認しよ
Alright, so I guess we're going through the number 4 door now. And so this is why the game seems a lot shorter than it actually ends up being. Let's make sure we've got this straight.
う5の扉に入るメンバーは
Those going to door 5
セブ
are
ンニールス俺
me, 7, and Snake.
7足す14の数字根は1足す4で
Yeah, we're good on the math, Junpei, don't worry.
4の扉に入るメンバーは
And those going to door 4
Yes.
are
サンタ紫一宮四つ葉
Lotus, Santa, June, Ace, and Clover.
8足す3足す622の
Math,
数字根
math,
は
math.
という
Good
わけだ
stuff.
が
But we've already got it down, don't worry.
これでいいか
We're okay with this?
異論はないぞ
No problems here.
や
Yes.
ろ
Let's do
うよ
this.
し
Alright
So-
then. Oops, sorry for cutting you off there, Junpei.
あとはレバーを下げるだけか
The lever's all that's left.
それ
Okay.
じゃあ行ってくるよ
Alright then, let's go.
はい気をつけてくださいね
Okay. Please be careful. We will. Alright. Here we go. And it's open. Yikes.
ひでえありさまだな
That's messed
こ
up.
れがあの9番の男なのか
That was the 9th man?
血の中を平然と
How can you... Well,
僕を殺すつもりなのかい扉が開いている時間は9秒しかないんだよ
do you intend to kill me? I assume you haven't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you?
あすまない
Sorry. Let's go. Whoa.
カウントダウンが始まりやがった
That's right, it's the first time, it's the countdown and everything. Darn it, the countdown started. Way back to the beginning. Way back to the beginning.
くそ
Crap, the door!
退路は断たれた。
There's no turning back
あとは
now.
解除装置を見つけない限り。
And if we don't manage to find the deactivation device...
おいデッドはどこだ
Hey, where is the
どこ
dead?
って
How the heck should I
落
know?
ち着いて周りをよく見て。
Stay calm, look around you.
分かってるよ
Okay, okay, I get it. Yeah, now I can also kind of appreciate why Snake is so level-headed in this particular situation, because he has experience with this. Ah,
ここだ
found it, right here! Whew. Well, it looks like it stopped.
ヒヤヒヤさせてくれるぜ
Darn thing's gonna give me a heart attack.
俊平くん大丈夫ですか
Oh, it's so cute. Junpei-kun, are you alright? Are you guys okay?
大丈夫だ
Yeah, we're fine.
起爆送信機は止まったよ。
The detonators have been deactivated.
それじゃあ俺たちは先に行くぜお前らも気をつけろよ
Alright, we're moving on. Be careful, okay? Okay.
了解だ。
Sure thing. I will say, I applaud that the flowchart is at least easy to jump back and forth between events, right? It definitely is at least conducive to going through multiple routes and events like we're trying to do right now. And they're gone.
さてと、
Now,
この通路は行き止まりか。
doesn't look like we can go any further this way.
この壁動いたりとか
Maybe this wall can be moved.
ダメだびくともしない
Or not. It's not budging, despite all those muscles.
こっちに扉があるぞ。
Hey, there's a door over there.
一等船室か
A first-class cabin, huh?
らしいな。
Well, it seems like it.
入ってみよ
Let's have a look then, shall we? Ah, so we've got ourselves another escape room. Interesting. So I'll probably be going through all of them at some point. Alright then, let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
見るまいとは思っていたけど、
I don't want to look, but
ひどすぎる。もう形も何もあったもんじゃないな。
it's so horrible. I can't even tell what's what.
これはあの男が身につけてたものか。
He'd been wearing
ア
these.
ングルが外れてる。
The bracelets off.
そうか。確かゼロの書き置きに。
Oh wait, Zero did say... Only two ways to do so, you escape, or your heart rate reaches 0. I wonder if anybody picks up the dead bracelets and potentially uses them.
番号が外れたんだ。
The bracelet comes off when you're dead.
ここまでぐちゃぐちゃになるんじゃな。
But what the heck's the point of getting it off when you end up like this?
誰が本当は人だったっていうんだ。
Just imagining how it must have happened. This was a human.
想像しただけで吐きそうだ。
Oh god.
もう行こう。
I feel like I'm gonna puke. I gotta get out of here. Whoa. This is a cool looking place.
あれお前らはどこに
Where did they...
この先か
Through here? Wow. It's a big place. It is first class, huh?
どうしたんだ
What's up?
見ろよこれ
Check this
ドアに
out.
わけのわからねえ装置がついてやがる
We found this thing here on the door.
赤いランプがついてるな。ロックがかかってるのか
The red light's on. Does that mean it's locked?
う。そうらしいね。
So I would assume.
他に出口は
Is there any other way out?
ざっと調べてみたがなさそうだ
We looked around a little. Other than this door, we didn't find
ってこ
anything.
とは、このドアを開かない限り、
So you're telling me that unless we can open this door,
先には進めないってことになるね。
yes, we won't be going anywhere.
ここは、ベッドルームみたいだな。
This looks like a bedroom.
さっき最初に入った部屋はリビングだろうね。
And the other room is probably a living room, or the closest you can get to one on a
とにか
ship.
くあのドアを開く方法を探そう
Alright, let's find a way to open this door.
さあ行動開始だ
Come on, guys. There we go. Alright, well, it's a pretty cool room. There's a lot to it, too. I think something interesting worth thinking about, too, is given that there are so many different paths you can take and still end up at certain places, none of these could be, all of these have to be, you know, dependent on just what's given on this pathway up until this point. It's not like they're gonna make this escape room any different or more difficult, for example, if they wanted to have like a graded increase in difficulty, because I've already played certain parts of the game. They may, but this is also a puzzle I could have solved, you know, as my very first one, right? So we'll see if it is as easy as it may be. But of course, we're going to be doing a lot of that investigating in the next episode. This was quite the episode. I still feel a little bit mixed about the puzzles. Again, I do think they don't quite utilize everything they can, but they're still neat. That's what I would say. They're neat. They're not incredible. I hope that they introduce more numbersy stuff, because that could be pretty cool. I think this episode really gripped me with the story. I think part of it is because when they just took it away from me, when I was like so close to getting the story that I anticipated liking a lot more than, you know, what I'd had up until this point, they just took it away from me. And they were kind of like a challenge of like, you can't do this until you accomplish this other stuff. So I feel more driven probably than any other point, maybe other than the first episode, to figure out more about the bigger picture, because now that I feel like they're hiding the remainder of the story and a lot of the bigger picture, I have more confidence that it's going to come together to be a really cool big picture. So I'm actually really eager to figure it out, which is a pleasant surprise. So I hope you guys are just as thirsty for the next bit of story as I am. But anyways, until the next episode, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.